for us? Grab this one.
Barbecue sauce? Sure, on bread.
You like
I'll tell
barbecue
you why
sauce?
in a second. Will you taste test this barbecue sauce?
That just doesn't seem.
I promise it's not poison. The only problem is the bread's kind of dry. Just take a little piece.
Is that safe?
Yeah,
That's safe.
You trying to set me up or something?
No. I just want to know what you think of it.
Am I
There's
like
nothing in
comparing
it.
this or something?
No, we just want to hear what you think of it.
All right.
Just get the end of it. That's the least stale part.
Why am I tasting this?
I'll tell you after.
You have 1 minute. You're okay.
I'm allergic to nuts, so there are nuts in this.
I hope not.
It's supposed to be a big deal.
Yeah, man. I got it.
You like barbecue?
I do.
All right.
You like it?
You made this?
I'll show you.
Good?
That's pretty good.
What's going on here, fellas? I'm a little skeptic. Hey, try this,
Come
Cam.
try this. Come try this.
Barbecue
Barbecue
sauce.
sauce.
You have 15 seconds.
I'll tell you why and you'll understand.
Barbecue sauce.
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's good. It's got a little twang to it, little spicy finish at the end. Yeah,
That
I
is
just tried Shedeur's #2 barbecue sauce.
he did good. Shedeur did good. Yeah, I'll give it to
We
him.
thought so too. That's
Yeah.
why we wanted to, spread the word, show the world.
I'll give it to him.
Shedeur Sanders #2 barbecue sauce.
Fellow Pac-12 quarterback
No, that's
making
good stuff.
decent barbecue sauce,
No,
right?
I'm impressed. He did something with that one.
All right.
All right.
What do you think?
I like it.
You just tried Shedeur's #2 barbecue sauce.
Love it.
Thanks.
Oh yeah.
Good job, Shedeur. Good.
Wow. That's got some kick.
You like it?
That's pretty good.
That's the Shedeur Sanders personal barbecue sauce NIL line.
Okay.
Would you have it again?
Yeah, I'd have that.
They slap.
Good?
Got a little spice to it, but it's good.
That is Shedeur Sanders personal barbecue sauce.
Where he at? No comment. I didn't say anything on it.
I'm coming to Houston. I'm coming to Houston next week. We're gonna work out. So I'm for sure gonna
Tell
call
him to
him.
bring some.
Tell him to bring-
Oh, Buff Nation!
Let's go!
Live from Viva Las Vegas. We're at the Pac-12 Media Day. It's DNVR Buffs Prime Time. We're presented by Illegal Pete's. Everyone's go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beers. First off, you're back.
I'm back, baby.
Welcome back.
It feels great. I'm here to spread the word about Shedeur's #2 barbecue sauce.
Yes, sir.
I was put on this earth with a purpose, and that's what I'm gonna do.
We've been trying to tell everyone, it's pretty damn good. And now we have the endorsements of many athletes around the Pac-12.
I mean, and that's why I didn't want anyone to know what it was,
Right.
Because it's like, hey, we need their true opinions. Not a single person in this building has not liked it.
That's true. And Lincoln Riley liked it.
Lincoln Riley liked it. Maybe he could learn a thing or two from that sauce.
Maybe next time his brisket will actually be sauced.
Yes, amen. Amen to that.
Oh, what's up, chat? How you guys doing? We'll have Travis, Shedeur, Charles Kelly, a bunch more guys here very, very soon. But I guess we start with the Pac-12 rankings, or what do you want to talk about?
Yes, and Jake, I have good news for you, my friend.
What's up?
There's nothing you could have done. Even if you gave them, what I would consider a proper ranking, they still would have been 11th.
Yes.
So everyone else is sleeping. You gave them a little bit more respect than, the average guy
voter
around here. And for that, we all have our opinions. But even if you would have had to rank them like first to move them up a spot.
Yeah, I don't think I could have done anything to help.
So they're going to learn.
They will learn.
They're going to learn. I feel very strongly that is an incorrect decision, or I guess ranking, when it comes to it. 11th out of 12 is
disrespectful.
It's going to look really silly. And, even if they end up not maybe getting as high as I personally think they can get, or maybe the chat, 11th, I assure you, will not look good at the end of this season.
Yep. Anything else on that? We got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about that's happened this week and get your opinion on.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 15 minutes before Trav comes by, so
yep.
Let's go, rapid fire.
All right, the fake quote and Coach Prime's response. Your thoughts?
Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible. The fact I just love, like, if you ever, I don't know, if you're a troll out there and you want to get Coach Prime's attention, there's a pattern to when he responds to things, and it's like when he sees it. Mm-hmm. And that one, he just had time that day. He had time that day, and he was like, this is crazy. Help me find the liar.
Yes, best part. Best part for sure.
No, the best part is definitely if they knew anything about me, it would have been a Lamborghini.
Yeah, I don't know. The all caps liar is that got me.
That was incredible. Also, like, as someone who appreciates, a good fake quote.
Yeah.
That went pretty viral. It got his attention.
It was pretty good.
I have to tip my cap. I do.
We found out when we were doing the show, I think on Monday or Tuesday, whatever it was, Dre and I did some reconnaissance work. It was an Oklahoma State fan that posted it on Twitter, maybe trying to get a dig in at Venables and OU.
Oh, my God.
How about that?
Wow. So you guys did the work that Coach Prime wanted us to do.
Well, we found the guy who posted on Twitter. I've heard that it originated somewhere else, though.
Facebook, probably.
Yes, exactly.
That's where a lot of fake news originates.
That's true. Travis Hunter, though. First team defensive back, first team all-purpose player, but that's it.
Yeah. And, I mean, the obvious second person who you would think of when you're compiling this list would be Shedeur, in my opinion. It's obviously an insanely packed conference when it comes to quarterback talent. Being first team all Pac-12 quarterback, we knew that was going to be Caleb Williams.
Yep.
And I think it's fair for Shedeur to have to come in and prove it in this conference before he gets that level of respect. So that one, makes sense. But I think, again, by the end of the year, there's going to be more than there is right now.
Absolutely. I mean, Jimmy Horn, though, he got honorary, not wide receiver, kick returner, though. You got Mark Vassett in there as well.
Mark Vassett, that's my guy. Where is he? Did they bring him here?
No. They're not Colorado State. They don't bring their punter to media day.
Damn. You're growing up so fast. I love it.
I appreciate it. We've done some cool stuff already today. You guys already saw the Shedeur's thing, but we've talked to some players. I guess who's been your favorite so far?
Help me out with names here. The USC linebacker.
Mason Cobb.
Mason Cobb. Mm-hmm. He was my favorite because I beat him in mini golf. And as I told him, no one can ever say Colorado's never beat USC.
Well, that's the only thing at this point.
Hey. Actually, no. Tad Boyle has Andy Enfield's number.
That's true.
But no, that was fun. To be honest, Cam Ward, who is a friend of Shedeur's, I thought was really insightful. We're going to be rolling out these interviews for a while.
Yep.
We have so much content that we've gotten for you guys today. Obviously, you already saw one piece of it. But I think he was really, really insightful, and it was great to talk to someone who had made that FCS to Pac-12 transition, talk about it. Also, a guy who knows Shedeur, who's worked out with him, who shares a quarterback's coach with him. He was really cool, and I joked with you. I actually think my least favorite part of being here at Pac-12 Media Days is how much these players and coaches are making me like them.
Yeah.
I want to hate them, but they're all really nice.
They're all really cool.
It makes it hard.
Yeah, Cam Ward's been amazing. Ron Stone, his teammate, defensive lineman, he was amazing as well. I really liked Anthony Gould.
Yep.
Jonathan Smith I thought was great too. Oregon State.
Oregon State, 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Let's see if the Buffs can back that up.
For sure. All right, it's 12:57. Still a while away. Let's get
you looking at?
I was saying if they maybe they're walking in.
Oh, they're over there.
Oh, are they?
Yep. So we'll see them soon.
Should we pay some bills real quick?
Sure, let's pay the bills.
Okay, shout out to Circa. This place is incredible, dude. Everything you said, it's lived up to the hype or surpassed. It's amazing.
I know. I can't wait to just get back there.
Yeah, tonight's going to be epic.
I've been calling it Twerka because that's where all the twerking goes down.
True.
But it is a blast. Yeah, there's a Women's World Cup game tonight. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have to pop down to Stadium Swim on the super, super big screen.
Let's do it.
Watch that. Get a bucket, hang out. It's going to be great. I love Circa.
Yeah.
I was traveling. Obviously, I was here a week ago. I was traveling all the early side of this week. I should have not been looking forward to traveling again, but I was like, oh, man, we got to go back to Circa. Got to go back to Circa.
I'll tell you, I'm going to be a sicko tomorrow. I'm going to wake up at 6:55 so I can watch F1 qualifying in that setting.
If you wake up at 6:55 for F1 tomorrow morning, I have failed in all facets.
Why?
Because I need to make you party so hard tonight that you can't do that.
We'll see. But Circa, they have the world's largest sports book. Literally, it is massive. That thing is insane. It's like sitting in a movie theater. You can download their app. They also have Stadium Swim. Stadium Swim's pretty incredible. I'm sure you'll see some scenes from there. Who's competing right now? Is that Caleb?
That's Ron Stone and Caleb.
Oh, they're
Williams
rematching.
back at it on pickleball.
Yeah.
By the way, I took 2 points in a row off of Ron Stone, the pickleball, the
Pullman
pickler himself.
If you guys are heading out to Vegas for the Broncos-Raiders game, Avs or Knights, any Pac-12 games, or I guess not
Pac-12
game,
tournament.
Pac-12 tournament, Pac-12 championship, or maybe a Mountain West alum, book your stay with
Las
code.
Vegas Bowl?
Yes, of course.
I think that's still a thing.
Broncos Raiders?
Yeah, that's what we just did.
I just said that. Book your stay with code DNVR20. You'll get 20% off. This place is amazing. And then, of course, shout out to Shedeur's number 2. We already told everyone.
The Pac-12's favorite barbecue sauce.
Absolutely. It should be a little stamp on the bottle now, I guess.
There it is.
Allie's got it.
Boom.
You can go to plbse.com. Use the code ALLCITY, all caps, all one word at checkout. You'll get 10% off your order of Shedeur's number 2. All right.
Keep it rolling. What else you got for me?
Well, I think we got something coming right here.
Okay, all right, let's do it. There he is.
What's up, man?
The man on
How's
the
it
bottle.
going?
What's up? Hop in. Shedeur Sanders joining the show. Shedeur, I have some really, really good news for you.
Am I in there?
Yeah, it's a little delayed.
Oh, okay.
You can watch your entrance if you want to see how it went for yourself.
Oh, no, it's all good. I'm just finally happy I'm able to be on the show. I always see it on YouTube.
Let's go. Hell yeah,
Appreciate
man.
that. Well,
Darius. I
we
always
had to
see
come all the
Darius.
way, to another state to get you on.
Oh, man, in the city we busy. We focused on, trying to do big achievements, man. That's it.
All right. Well, we already played this video on the show, but we'll show it to you later. My good news was we made like half the Pac-12 try your barbecue sauce, and the reviews couldn't have been better. Everyone loves it.
You got a hit, man.
Until they found out who it was.
We didn't tell them. We didn't go blind.
Isn't that crazy? It's so biased, man. I don't know.
Well, it's delicious, so we knew everyone would love it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. That's the only sauce I eat. I don't eat like ketchup, mustard, or anything like that. I don't eat no other sauce but barbecue sauce, and I eat that sometimes, but my own barbecue sauce, though.
You going to have a version 2 coming out soon, maybe?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to figure out what would probably be good in Denver and Boulder and Colorado. Because I know down south is more like in Mississippi where we was at, it was more like barbecuing and stuff like that. So, but then I can't do something off the wall to where I don't even eat it. You know?
Yeah.
So then I don't know.
That makes sense.
Maybe like a steak sauce. We know you're all about steaks.
No, but if steak needs sauce, it ain't good steak.
Okay.
Facts, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Facts.
Yeah, I'm steak expert.
Do you grill?
Nah, I don't grill.
No?
Nah, if I cook steak, it's mid. It's not good at all. But if I can tell you if it's a good steak or not.
All right, Shedeur, you follow 9 Twitter accounts. Can you name them?
I know I follow Brady Brand, I think.
Yep.
Gatorade.
Yep.
Dad.
Yep.
Bucky. Deion Jr. Maybe.
No.
I don't follow Deion Jr.
One of them is here.
See you.
Travis. Yes, see you.
Oh, Travis.
Travis.
See you.
One more brand.
Brand. Hold on. I said Brady Brand, said Gatorade. Nah, I don't know the other brand.
Think the whip.
Oh, Mercedes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
follow Mercedes.
All right, and then the other one more coach. You got
Coach Sean Lewis.
nope. Coach Dancy.
Coach Dancy, no. Listen, Coach Dancy. Yeah, I ain't see Coach Dancy in a minute.
And
Coach Dancy.
this one made me do a double take, but I'll just say before I say this, we're clear. This is kosher. Interior porn. which is just the interior of houses.
Yeah, I think the last word is kind of weird. Nah, but I seen it. I'm like, yeah, I got to get a house like this one day.
I was like, for a second, I was like, oh, we're not going to be able to ask him this, and then I was like, oh no, we're good.
Yeah, now that was the thing. I always see those houses with the black. I don't know. It's like black floors, black marble countertops, stuff like that. So it's like I know when I'm designing my house with my dad. Because, you know, I got to go through my dad and my mom. So, you know, so whenever they decide whenever I decide who's going to do what, then I'm definitely putting that black marble in there, though.
Is that something that, like, you're interested in, like, with your apartment, like, you know, making it look nice?
Well, I'm not talking about apartment. I'm talking about house.
I know.
I'm talking about, like, next level when I get a house. Yeah, but I probably won't get a house till, like, you know, second contract.
All right.
Yeah, Pops. He already made the mistakes whenever he is in the league, so he got me on a good path, like knowing just with everything with money and everything, like what to do, what not to do, and stuff like that. Of course, you got to make your own mistakes with it, but you don't want to make too many mistakes with money. You don't.
You guys came in 11th on the preseason Pac-12 Media poll. What's your reaction to that?
Two things. Who voted on that?
Media members.
Media members probably never play football in their life.
True.
1, 2, media members don't understand what it takes each and every day, and they haven't walked in your path. They haven't done what you've done in life. So they just on the outside looking in. They don't understand, okay, cool, I could have watched the whole last season, see where I improved at. Now I'm focused on the details where I could improve at. So it's like they don't really understand that. They're just on the outside. They just like betting people. Like they going to bet on the odds, but things could work in other favors also.
No.
Do you kind of like being in that underdog position, just in a position to prove everyone wrong?
I mean, that's how it was since day one when I went to my first media day. So my first media day in Jackson, I said I was never going to lose a SWAC game. Off straight out of high school, just graduated off rip.
Yep.
Never did.
And you were right. Yep.
You know, so it's just like, of course, when new things happen and things that's not normal to people in conferences like that, of course they're going to have doubt and they're going to try to make you shy away from things, but people's opinions don't matter to me.
What's it like being out here with Travis?
Travis, he's a goofy guy. I love when he gets mad and his little attitudes because that's when I play with him more. But he always gets a little nippy sometimes. He's just missing home right now. Boulder.
What's it like with all these? I mean, your team's here now. All these players came in this summer. You guys finally know who you're going to be lining up with. What's it like now?
It's great. I say the relationships we have with each other is different. We're not the same 1-11 team, so I don't know how you could even get that prediction if it's not the same team and you never seen us on the field together. But I like it a lot, though, because everybody has that winning mindset and understand, okay, cool, this is what we came here for, this is what we're up against, and I'm able to get them insight like, bro, we need to lock in because if stuff go left, y'all not going to like how that feel.
Yeah.
Because I went through it and I understood when I lost my first Celebration Bowl my freshman year. So then that's when each and every time it's like, okay, cool, we got to have a purpose. We're not going to make that same mistake here at Colorado. We're not going to make that same mistake. I
think the perfect example to show how different this is from last year's team, I asked multiple Pac-12 coaches, if they were playing you guys week one, would they turn on the film of last year's team at all before they played you? And they said no, because everything is different.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of crazy that people are so fixated on what happened last year.
I can't even tell you who the starters on defense right now is. So how can you tell us what the team's going to look like? And I don't even know who the starters is. I'm going against them every day.
Yeah.
Because there's some young guys that's really out there, like, really, really out there doing real good.
Such as?
That I ain't expect.
Such as?
I can't even say it. But no, it's definitely some young guys that's expected to play. And I sat down and talked to them, even at the receiver position, like, y'all got to lock in because I'm going to need y'all this year. Y'all got a chance to at least go for 500 yards freshman year. So that's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
What's it like having Shiloh back on the team now?
It's fun because he's able to talk. He just talk crazy in practice all the time.
Yeah.
But then if you ask anybody, anytime we do like 7-on-7 or anything, I'm out there in between plays talking crazy to them. So it's a back and forth. And he brings that dog mindset and brings that different mindset and get everybody riled up. And even when nobody's feeling like it, he'll be the one to really just talk crazy. And then everybody feeds off that energy, and that's the type of defense that you need with an attitude.
Sweet. Well, I think we got to let you go on to your next thing, but so great having you on.
Almost there.
Awesome, man. We'll see you
have
soon.
to try and get you down there in Denver.
Nah, we got to do it. We got to do.
Let's go.
Do it in Denver when we got more time.
All right,
man.
Thanks, Shedeur. Shedeur Sanders, everyone. That was awesome. Oh, yeah.
Go for
grab a picture with the sauce.
Thanks, Shedeur. Do we got Travis next?
Yeah. Just hold that for him. All right. We got Travis coming up next.
What's up, Travis?
Hey, don't pay him no mind.
How you doing, bro?
What's up, bro? Thanks for the time. All right. First and foremost, have you found a good fishing spot in Colorado yet?
That's a lot of good fishing spots.
Yeah?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
You like the fishing in Colorado?
Yeah. It's all right. It ain't compared to Florida or nothing.
No, not even close?
Nah, not close at all.
How's your summer been, man? You've been traveling around a lot, going to a lot of different places?
It's been all right. Thing I like the most is Arizona fishing, though.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
What about it?
They got nice bass fishing out there.
Yeah?
So been like 2 times this summer. So
I saw the vlog the first time you went out there. You're like a sniper with the cast.
yeah. like perfecting that. That's why.
I was pretty impressed. Like not scared of the tree limbs, none of that.
Nah. You can't be scared when you got those in the water.
What's it like having Cormani McLean actually with you guys now practicing?
It's good. He's still got a lot to learn, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How are those, when he lines up against you, how do those matchups go?
Very competitive. We only lined it up one time. But it's very competitive, though.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to kind of, bringing him along, maybe taking him under your wing a little bit, also competing with him?
Yeah. Got to do that. That's only right.
You have your whole team there now. You guys are playing with a lot of other players that have been, they entered the portal, they're gone now. But now your guys are here. What's it like having your actual team now to practice with and get to know?
It's very fun. I mean, we out there gelling, talking to each other. We pretty much all try to talk to each other every day, all day. That's pretty much what we do. I don't say we hang out. Probably we'll play the game all day with each other after practice if we get a chance. So that's it.
Yeah.
How big is that group chat?
We got a lot of group chats. It's not just one.
All right.
With Omarion Cooper and Jaquez now with you, obviously you're going to be playing both ways. What do those guys bring to this team?
They're bringing the energy and the depth. I mean, we know we got, if I mess up, it's another guy waiting right behind me.
Mm-hmm.
If Kamani mess up, it's another guy waiting right behind him. So we got a lot of depth. We got a lot of good players that's itching to get on the field.
All right, practice situation here. Would you rather catch a touchdown from Shedeur or be on defense and break up a potential touchdown that he was trying to throw?
No, I'd rather catch a touchdown. I don't do breakups. I'd rather catch a pick.
All right.
Great answer.
Catch the touchdown or catch the pick in the end zone?
Catching the pick.
All right.
Taking it back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Letting him know.
Got to.
You guys came on 11th in the preseason poll. What was your reaction when you saw that?
I still ain't see it. I mean, I don't care. I'm out here to play football. I don't care about no poll.
Let's go.
Do you embrace that opportunity, though, to be the underdogs and kind of prove people wrong?
Nah, I really don't care. I'm out here to play. I'm out here to do one job, and that's to win. So that's all I'm out here to do. I don't care about no pool. I'm ready to play football, the game I love.
Is there a defensive back that you're looking forward to matching up with, or a wide receiver that you're looking to matching up with?
Nah, everybody the same person. They our enemy, so
Yeah.
we're just ready to go out there and play.
Is that like you just see a faceless opponent across from you, like you don't even care who it is, as long as you do you, it's you're gonna win?
Yeah, that's it. You just gotta be competitive at all times. It don't matter if they're third or fourth string receiver they got. I'm still gonna go out there and do the best I can.
Can you try and compare Pac-12 Media Day to SWAC Media Day?
Really can't compare it. It's all the same thing.
Yeah?
All we do is walk around doing interviews every second. So.
You've been a busy man, huh?
Yes, sir.
Is there any of these new guys that have joined the team that have surprised you or stood out to you in an impressive way?
No, I pretty much try to not even try to look at what they did at other schools or whatever they did in high school. I just let them come out and just show me what they can do. Because I can't judge somebody from what they did at last year or the year before.
Anyway, who's showing out?
Everybody. It's very competitive at practice. He'll let you know that.
Is that exciting for you guys, just the difference between maybe some of those spring practices before the portal and now the way that it is?
Yeah, it's very different from beginning to now, what it is now.
I asked this to Cam, too, which was like, is there an inherent respect on the team for the guys who were there before who are still there? You know, there's a select few guys who were on last year's team who have still, you know, made it through that spring portal and stuck with you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of respect for those guys for going out and show them that they ready to work and they willing to hop on the train with us and do what we got to do to win.
What's it like having Shiloh back at practice and kind of doing his thing, you know, John and everyone?
It's good for the team to show them like Shiloh he can do what he says he does, and he came in a lot more relaxed and a lot more like ready to play. Like at Jackson State, he was always goofing around, not ready, not knowing everything. But now he's actually learning everything. He's really ready to gel in with the team. He's trying to help as many people out as he can. So it's nice.
How's the ankle?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yes,
you
sir.
ready?
Yeah.
Let's go, man. We're excited to watch you this year. We can't wait to see
Appreciate
what you do, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Trav. Thanks for the time, man.
No problem.
Appreciate you.
We'll see you back in Boulder.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right.
There he is, Travis Hunter.
How about that, chat?
Hey, we need to start working on the quote graphic right now about the Pac-12 Media poll because that quote hit different.
Yep. All right. We are –
we can, you know.
I don't see Coach.
Yeah, he'll come around and we can digest those two interviews.
Yeah.
Two biggest interviews we've ever had on this show.
No doubt.
So that was awesome.
Travis's just natural confidence and energy, man. I can't help but just get hyped every time you hear him speak about what he's about to do on this football field.
Well, and I believe him.
Yes.
You know, that's the thing is like you can talk all you want, but I believe him when he sits there and he tells us, I don't see who's across from me. I got to take care of my technique. If I do all the right things, I know I'm going to win. As we have Coach Charles Kelly joining us here.
How's it going?
Good. Hey, Coach. How you doing? Love the lapel pin. That's nice. All right.
Charles Kelly joining the show.
Back to back here.
All right.
Coach, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
Welcome
How
to
are
Vegas.
y'all?
Good.
Thank you.
Can't complain.
Thank you.
Just what's it been like? You know, obviously Coach is going through his thing. You're kind of here representing. How's the reception been for you?
It's been good. It's a great opportunity to promote our program. You know, it's an honor for Coach to be able to allow me to come here, represent Colorado, represent our administration, and you know, and let these players see all these great players, to be able to see all these great coaches in this conference. It's an exciting time, you know, in the Pac-12, and there are a lot of good players, a lot of good coaches. We're excited to be here.
Let's start with the two guys that you're with out here, and we'll start with the guy who's more on your side of the ball, and Travis Hunter. What can you tell us about him as a player?
Dynamic player, dynamic athlete. You know, I've known Travis and Shedeur since they were freshmen in high school. We recruited both of them at Alabama when I was there. You know, Travis has great length, great athletic ability. He's got really good ball skills. He's very instinctive. Very smart football player, and he can play on both sides of the ball. People ask me all the time, can he do it? And I'm like, absolutely. Because I believe this, anytime a guy can help put points on the scoreboard, you know, he should play there, and he can do that. So I think Coach Prime has a good plan for him, and we're looking forward to seeing what he can do.
On the other side, you have Shedeur, and you mentioned it. You know, that's a guy who had an Alabama offer.
Exactly.
And I think there's a lot of reasons why people are underestimating this team, but I think that might be one of the biggest. I don't think people quite understand how good he can be.
No. I mean, if you just take and look at his numbers, okay, you can't – I mean, he's as good as anybody in the country when you look at his numbers. And, you know, me as a defensive coordinator, I play against him every day in practice. So the things that quarterbacks bring to the game, first of all, he's smart, All right, and the number one thing a quarterback's got to be able to do is make good decisions. He does that. He's got extremely good arm talent. All right, he's got extremely good hand talent, which when I say that, I mean he's very accurate, when he throws the football. So when you look at these numbers, he can't help who he was playing against. All he did was complete passes.
And beat everyone almost.
And win games. And for a quarterback, being able to lead your team and win games, I mean, that's impressive. And I've been as impressed with Shedeur, just his temperament, how he handles himself, and then he has all the physical tools that it takes to be a really good quarterback, and he is a really good quarterback. He deserves to be in this at this media day.
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
You talked about Travis. Cormani's finally on campus.
Right.
How is he adjusting, of course, the altitude and everything, but into your defense, and then just having both of them on the outside? What does that do for everyone else?
Well, I think Cormani's done a good job. He's working really hard. The thing that you have to be careful of is when you bring guys in, you want to make sure that you develop them and put them in a situation where they can be successful. And there's some things that Cormani's got to do to get where, he's able to play for us. But we'll get him there. Mm-hmm. And as long as he'll do the work, which he has been doing, I think a lot of these guys that come in, they have the athletic ability, but developing through their upper body, putting on the weight that they need to. You can tell a difference since he's been in the weight room, with us. You can tell how his body's changed. So we're looking forward to watching him develop. But that's what it is. It's development. You can't get too impatient, with these younger guys, and he'll get to where he's supposed to be.
Coach Prime is one of the few coaches I've heard talk about building from the outside in. Yep. And whether it's Travis and Cormani or some of the other great players that you guys have brought in at that position right now, what does it do for a defensive coordinator when you have guys on the outside?
Coach is exactly right, because your corners set the parameters for what you can do defensively. And the better corners you have, when you can take one guy out of the game and say, listen, we're gonna do this to the other guys, or you can take two guys out of the game, it's a lot easier to call the game. And then it makes them hold the ball longer. So now it creates opportunities to get sacks and affect the quarterback, which in this conference, if you don't do that, you're not going to have very much success.
Yep. This team finally is, what it's going to be when you guys take the field after the spring. How is everyone coming together, and how fast do you think this process can be, I guess, put on the fast track to get it all moving in the same direction?
Listen, since the day Coach got here, he had a clear vision for what he wanted to accomplish. And it's been on the fast track since then. I feel like our players have done a great job this summer of, first of all, of working and understanding what it takes to play at Colorado. There's a standard that Coach has that everybody in the organization is going to, adhere to. They have to learn that first. It's learning how to do something. Mm-hmm. And then, our job as coaches to teach them the technical stuff. As far as them developing as a team, I think Coach has done some really good things. Of course, we have, the NCAA allows us a certain amount of time to be with the players in the summer. We've taken full advantage of that, which is, which has helped our guys. I'll say a lot. I got a lot of praise for the guys that were here in the spring, because they've helped even the guys that came in this summer.
Sure.
They've helped in the transition. And like I know, when you're on a team and there's a guy that comes in and hey, this guy can help us win, you're going to accept him a lot quicker than you are somebody that can't.
You guys get voted 11th in the preseason media poll. I'm just curious if you have any reaction to that.
I never look at those things anyway. If we went by that, we wouldn't kick the ball off.
Yep.
Why would we play the games? So, we've got to – listen, every week we have something to prove. And every week you have to work. That has absolutely nothing on the result of a game. Everything that will be the result of a game will be because of us. And that's the way we approach it.
Shiloh's back, or he's with this team now. Can you talk about his importance not only on the field but off the field, just the fire he brings and the competitive nature he draws out?
Love his personality. I've known Shiloh since he was a young player in high school. Love his personality. He's very smart. He's very passionate. He's worked really hard this summer. I've challenged him on some things to do, and he will come up every day and say, you know, Coach, I did this, this, and this. So he's very aware of where he's at right now, and he's working really hard. I'm excited to see him out there in fall camp.
Is that it?
I think so. I think we got to let
All
you
right,
go.
Coach, we got to let you go.
But appreciate you joining us so much. It was a real pleasure.
Thank you so much, Coach. We'll see you back in Boulder.
Yeah, we'll have to get you back in Colorado. There he is. You know, Jake, of course it would have been cool to have Coach Prime here, but what an honor to be able to sit down and talk with Coach Kelly and, you know, kind of get into the X's and O's a little bit and just learn from him, because that is a very, very experienced and qualified football coach right there.
He's here for a reason, man.
Yeah.
The track record is undeniable, not only just the coaching but the recruiting. And honestly, again, with this coaching staff, the strength of this coaching staff, I mean, is the experience they have. They could have sent anyone out here, really. And I think they would have done as great a job as Charles Kelly did. He did a great job, gave us a lot of insight into how this secondary is kind of shaping up.
And honestly, if you just have that little southern twang, you just know ball maybe a little bit more.
He may actually know ball a little bit more than the rest.
It feels that way.
Right. Back to Shedeur, though. We didn't talk about Shedeur's interview.
Honestly, the reaction of both Shedeur and Travis to the Pac-12 Media poll, and look, I'm sure it's all over the comments. Why ask them about this? Who cares about that? Blah, blah, blah. The reason I ask is because I give them the opportunity to give a great quote.
Yep.
And, you know, Shedeur, I thought, was certainly a little more peeved by it, and it showed. And I love that about him. And Travis had the most Travis response ever. And both of them are great. And honestly, Coach Kelly nailed it too.
Yep.
But I think both of those answers show you who those guys are. You know, Shedeur, he takes that personally. And he's going to go out there and show it. Travis is just like, yeah, who cares? Just watch me.
They have so much bulletin board material and so much just disrespect to feed themselves this season. I think we're going to see somewhat of a monster come out, because this team is not being projected anywhere close to where they should be.
Yeah, and how about Coach Kelly on Shedeur? You know, obviously he's been asked a lot about Travis. He's talked about Travis a lot. But hearing him talk about Shedeur, like, to me, that's a clip.
Yep.
Get that out to the masses. Because I talk about Shedeur so much, just like in my life.
Yeah.
I'm at a bar. People come up and tell me, what do you think of the Buffs this year? I go straight to Shedeur. The other night, actually, someone came up to me, and they were actually a hater. And they were, no way he can be this good, that good. And I'm just like, this is the biggest miss that's going on right now when people talk about Colorado football, is they don't understand how good he is. They really just don't. And hearing Coach Kelly talk about it might have hit different than anyone else I've ever heard talk about him, because he had more conviction, and he has the experience of being on a staff at the best school in the country who wanted him to come be their quarterback. Like, he's the one thinking, this is insane that people don't understand how good this guy is. We wanted him at Bama.
All right, we should have someone else showing up shortly, I thought.
Yep. I think we have Chip Kelly coming on. Maybe not. That's fine. We'll keep talking Buffs.
All right.
They're running low.
That's fine.
Okay. Sounds good.
But anyways,
yeah.
Just hearing Coach Kelly talk about Shedeur was awesome. What stuck out to you from those three?
I mean, I wanted to ask him about Shiloh for a reason. And the value he brings to the team, because it's obvious to me when you watch Well Off, the pregame show, Reach the People. The fire that guy brings, and just the competitiveness he brings out of this team, out of everyone he's around. I think that's something that they absolutely needed, just to have that kind of, I mean, they were already a confident bunch, but now it's just like overflowing with confidence. And it's going to be starting from when he got here on campus this summer and just what he's been able to do to kind of, in his way, lead this team, really.
Yeah. There's all sorts of different types of leaders. There's guys who lead by example. There's guys who lead by, and when I say example, they would lead by their work ethic. There's guys who lead by like kind of rah-rah leadership. And then there's guys who lead by setting a tone vocally.
Right.
And that's exactly what Shiloh is. You know, I make a lot of comparisons to the Broncos just because I covered them for so long. But when I look back at that 2015 Denver Broncos defense that was so elite, it had a lot of those guys. You know, Aqib Talib could talk. Chris Harris Jr. could talk. TJ Ward could talk. These are talkers who go out there, and not only do they want to beat you, but they want to let you know about it every single play. And having those guys just sets a different type of tone. And honestly, when you hear him talking, when you're his teammate, you're like, all right, I got to make sure I back it up, because he's telling them you're not getting a yard on this possession or whatever that may be. And it's just, you need all of it. You need the vocal leaders. You need the, you know, talking leaders. You need the guys who lead by example. You need the rah-rah locker room speech guys too. And I think this team has those pieces in spades.
Yep. I mean, I already talked about the experience of this coaching staff and how good they are, but I mean, we heard it from Oregon State when we talked to those players today, how player-led this team or that team is. And it seems like this team is kind of shaping up in that same regard, where it's really the players who are holding everyone accountable. The coaches are just kind of the guardrails of everything. It's a really player-led team, and that's what I'm seeing here with the Buffs.
It's such a good point, and all of those Oregon State guys talked about that. And, you know, they went from 2-10 to 10-2. Well, maybe the Buffs can go from 1-11 to 11-1.
Yeah.
Maybe not overnight, but that's the path that you have to take. And I think you're right. I loved what Travis had to say about how all these guys talk every day, and you can feel that in the videos. And we've talked about it time and time again, whether it's with Cam, whether it's just you and I, about how you can feel a totally different energy with this team because this is the team. And I love that you asked all these guys about it, because it's totally different. The way Coach Prime talks is different. The way they interact is different. And the fact that, you know, Travis essentially said, hey, we're getting together, we're talking, we're chatting all day, every day, is a beautiful thing. And when we ask that question, well, how do you microwave the chemistry process? That's how. And it can't necessarily be manufactured. These guys truly have to, you know, want to be around each other. We talked to Stanford coach Troy Taylor, who obviously has a big job on his hands at Stanford, but he has rebuilt a program everywhere he goes. And at Sacramento State, he turned them around almost immediately, and we asked him about what's the key to that. And, you know, you might think this is corny, but he said the key is love. Everyone's got you need a team that loves each other. And I think that's what you're seeing here.
Just with Cormani McLean, I mean, we've heard about who he is as a person. We'll eventually find out, of course, and how he kind of keeps to himself and those around him. And already, just from what I've seen when he's hanging out at YouTube, Dylan's there, Shedeur's there, all these guys, and they've just kind of accepted him already as one of their own. And that's just setting such a precedent, you know, for the culture this year, of course, but from here on out, that this is how it's just going to be here under Coach Prime.
I think Cormani, he has that, like, athletic confidence, but he's also a humble guy. And I think that goes a long way when you're a 5-star, number 1, number 2 recruit in the nation who comes in. You know, sometimes those guys come in and they act like, hey, I'm here, I belong. And that doesn't always fly with you know, the veterans on the team. I think he comes in with a confidence, but a humbleness of like, hey, I'm here to win just like you guys. I'm here to be a part of something. And that really helps them kind of accept him under their wing and say, all right, come on, you're in the group chat now, let's go.
For sure. Anything else from what we just talked about?
It kills me that we had 10 minutes apiece. It felt like it went in the blink of an eye. We could do a whole show with every single one of those guests and still have more to talk about. But each one of them, I thought, brought really, really unique perspectives. I totally understand Travis being a little sick of answering questions and talking.
I get it,
and
of course.
Being asked, I'm sure similar lines of questioning depending on who he's talking to. But just really, really cool. Really, really cool. And I'm excited to watch all of those guys. Well, those two guys play, and of course, see what Charles Kelly can do with that defense.
For sure. They are going live on the stage at 4:20 Mountain Time. That is a little less than an hour from now.
Did they do that on purpose? Putting Colorado at 4:20 Mountain Time?
Someone here is smirking.
What are we doing?
Someone's smirking out here. They know what they did. I don't know where it is. You guys can find it.
Shout out Kind Love.
But we will. We will, I guess, recap what they said on the podium tomorrow.
Yep, we have a lot coming tomorrow because we have a couple interviews that are going to go down after this. We have a bunch of stuff that we gathered during the day. RG's working on a vlog of kind of the whole day, which has been a whirlwind.
Yep.
I somehow woke up at 6 a.m. in Vegas.
Yeah.
As I told you when we were walking over here, I've had more days than I can count on one hand in Vegas where I went to sleep after I woke up today. So it's been a hell of a day, but honestly worth it in every facet, and excited to keep rolling out the content from this.
For sure.
5 more minutes until our next guest.
We're going to be live for a minute. Do we pay bills again real quick?
Sure.
All right.
Let's do it.
We are not in Denver.
By the way, hit us with a thumbs up. I know you guys are already coming through with them, but keep them coming.
Yep.
6:13. We can get to 1,000 today.
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
We're not in Denver, so we're not with the spirit of the Buffs that we usually have right in front of us.
Yes.
Can you, I guess, check in telepathically with the spirit of the Buffs and tell us how it's doing?
Close my eyes really quick. I tried to see the spirit of the Buffs, but I just saw Shedeur throwing touchdown passes to Travis.
You just saw referees with their hands up?
Yeah, touchdowns, interceptions, fumbles. So, no, I can't check in with the spirit of the Buffs, but I assume it's doing great.
It's probably just full blast, insanely strong right now.
Yeah, I bet every show at DNVR today just has the Saturday neon sign on full blast on the set.
It's not even plugged in and it's on. Shout out to Saturday Neon, the company started by two friends and former college roommates at CU. They make officially licensed collegiate logo LED neon signs. They're based out of Denver. They're made with everything that you need to mount, power, and dim, so every sign is easy to install and operate. They've got CU. They've got 18 other schools. Go check them out at SaturdayNeon.com. When you're there, use the code DNVR. You'll get 10% off of your order, and you get free shipping for orders over $200.
I was trying to figure out how our schedule got messed up. It actually worked out perfectly because Shedeur came 10 minutes early.
Yeah.
So we had a nice little 10-minute break here to digest. Just so you guys know, the guests we are scheduled to have as this show goes on, Chip Kelly, UCLA offensive lineman Duke Clemens, Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr., the list goes on. Oregon coach Dan Lanning.
And
we're going to end, we think, with Pac-12 commissioner George
Kliavkoff.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Shout out to Backus and Shanker. They are there for you if you get hurt. They've been helping Colorado families win for over more than 25 years. No fees to speak with them about your case, no fees while they work on your case, and no fees unless they win your case and win money for you. They've won over $1 billion for their clients. They help with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault, car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrian, trucks. They can even help if you're injured at work. Call them at 222-2222. Smash that Shedeur line to find out if you have a case for free. Backus and Shanker wins.
All right. Got another guest here coming in just a second. What's the most surprising thing you've seen here today?
Wow. Most surprising thing. I'm not going to lie. Seeing some of these players, I thought that a lot of them would be bigger.
That's what someone said to me about someone, and I thought they were wrong. But it is true. Football players aren't as much of unicorns as basketball players are.
Right.
But it kind of makes it more impressive to me when you meet a safety who you've seen their highlights and you're like, this guy destroys people.
Yeah.
And then
Cole Bishop.
Yeah, you stand next to him and you're like, huh, not that big.
Right.
You wouldn't know that if he hit you in the ribs, they would all just disintegrate.
Yep. Shattered. Anthony Gould.
Yep.
I mean, that guy's my size, and he's probably one of the fastest players in the country.
Yeah, he can fly. It's so weird that Oregon State's now a team that has speed.
Legitimate
Like
speed.
they were always just kind of like a boring offense. Now they have burners out there.
Who else did we talk to?
All right, we got Chip Kelly coming over right now.
Oh, here he comes.
So, make sure you smash that like button as we have some interesting guests coming on.
How we doing?
How's
Doing
it going,
well, Coach? How are you?
Awesome.
Jake Schwannis, DNVR. Nice to meet you.
Ryan Koenigsberg, nice to meet you.
There you go.
What are we chatting about?
What do you want to chat about?
The beautiful weather here in Las Vegas.
Yeah?
So, it's a little chilly.
It's a lot like Boulder. I don't know why people live here.
Honestly,
They said
though.
it was going to be 115 today. I was like, why do you live in this weather?
The crazy part is, are you a golfer?
I golf.
So, they've got that nice course over here, the Wynn.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, oh, maybe if it's 115, you can get on for cheap. Nope, still $600.
Wow. I wouldn't pay $600 to walk across the street, let alone play golf. So.
It's like there's someone just standing out there with a blow dryer in your face.
It's different. Not my cup of tea.
Coach, the Pac-12 very strong this year, probably the strongest it's been. When's the last time you can remember the Pac-12 this strong?
Well, I think the Pac-12 has always been strong. I think people sometimes forget about that. When I was at Oregon, you're facing Andrew Luck, Matt Barkley. There's always been some really good players in this league. Jake Locker, a bunch of really, really good players. And even just a couple years ago, you look what Coach McIntyre did at Colorado and making that run with those guys and getting to the championship game. So the one thing I've always thought about this league is that there's no top and bottom. It's every week somebody can beat everybody else, and there's not a score that surprises you, and you better come ready each week to play because there's no easy days.
Is that, the reason why you see kind of this conference sometimes cannibalize itself?
100%. It is that, you can look at maybe the SEC with Alabama and Georgia are a cut above the other guys. And, I don't think some of the teams on the bottom end are not going to knock them off. In our league, you look up and you're just, I think Washington was a great team this year, but they got knocked off at Arizona State for some reason, and they got knocked off at our place on a Friday night, and they ended up 10-2.
Yep.
And that was a really, really good football team. And it's one of those deals where if you do have a hiccup or maybe one of your players is nicked and isn't 100% healthy in that game, then it doesn't shine through. It's the teams with the best depth and the teams that can stay the luckiest through injury that are probably going to end up winning it. But very rarely does anybody go undefeated in this league.
Yep.
The quarterbacks in this conference are particularly strong.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a 5-star yourself. What can you tell us about Dante Moore? How's he progressing?
Dante did a great job. Dante came in January and fit in right away. He's a real cerebral kid and picked things up very quickly and then competed. We have a bunch of kids right now. We went through the spring and said we weren't going to pick a starting quarterback. We just want you guys to play. They all improved from practice 1 to practice 15. But Ethan Garbers has played a lot of snaps for us, and he played well this spring. Colin Schley, who's a transfer from Kent State, is a really good player and has played 2 years at Kent State. He's in the mix. Dante's in the mix. Justin Martin, who's a redshirt freshman, who's a 4-star Elite 11 quarterback, is in the mix. So we've got a couple guys that we can pick from right now.
When recruiting and watching Colin Schley, I'm sure you watched a lot of Sean Lewis's offense at Kent State.
We did.
What did you think of what he was doing up there?
Sean does a great job. He's one of the bright young offensive minds in this country, and you look at their schedule. I don't think anybody can complain about a schedule after you see Kent State's. They played Washington, Oklahoma, and Georgia out of conference to start the season, but competed and
scored a little bit on Georgia.
Scored a bit on Georgia, and so he's got a system that I think he understands their system and will hold them to the system. But he's got a good feel. He knows how to use a mobile quarterback if the quarterback has some mobility. He also knows how to drop back and throw it. So I think Colorado offensively is going to be in really good hands with Sean.
What about your offense? At Oregon, it was really fast, no huddle, really spread out. Here at UCLA, you're throwing a lot of tight ends out there. You're running the football and all these kind of zone and gap schemes. How would you describe your offense now?
I would think everything we've always done is just personnel-based. So when I first got to UCLA, we had a lot of tight ends. When I was in the NFL, we had a lot of tight ends. We had Brent Selleck and Zach Ertz when I was in Philadelphia, and it's part of just we learned. And when I walked into UCLA, Devin Asiasi was there. Caleb Wilson was there. They were both NFL draft picks. Greg Dulcich, who plays for the Broncos, was a third-round draft pick. We had a bunch of tight ends that got drafted. Mike Ezekiel's a tight end for us with the Chargers. And we have the same thing now. We have 5 or 6 tight ends that we think can play. But we're always going to adapt our game plan to our personnel. So do we have more running backs? And I think we have depth at running back, so we may do some two-back stuff this year. But we also have some real good depth at receiver, so I think we can be multiple in how we approach things.
Is that what keeps you, is that what you love the most? Just coming to work, figuring out how are we going to use these guys? How are we going to counter what defenses are doing these days? Is that your favorite part of this?
It's one of it. I think that's the fun part, the X and O part of football. You can really and it's fun when you have weapons. So if you have weapons, you can there's a lot of things you're like, hey, that's a really good play, but we can't run it because we don't have anybody like that. You're like, oh, we could do that.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can implement that. That is one of the real fun parts of the game.
Colorado obviously had a lot of turnover with their roster. I'm just curious, what's your impression of what Coach Prime did at CU?
I really didn't pay much attention to it, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people try to chime in. I'm worried about my team, so I know that's part of the rules, and if that's the way he's going to approach it, then that's his decision. He sees those guys on a daily basis. I don't, so I do get a kick out of other people weighing in on how other people should be managing their roster, and I got enough problems managing my roster, let alone me starting to look at how somebody else is handling theirs. So I know we got to play them in the middle of the season at some point in time. So, and I know Shedeur and Coach had Shedeur come to camp a couple years ago, and we really liked him. So I think he's going to be a really good quarterback there, and I'm excited to see how they do.
Do you think that there's going to be changes coming to the transfer portal just because it's a little too crazy right now?
I think the only change I think they should make is there should only be one window to transfer. I don't know why kids have an opportunity to go through transfer. It's over. Everybody go to spring ball, then you reassess. There's no other sport that does that. So in the NFL, in the offseason, you have your draft, then you start OTAs, then you have minicamp. That's really their off-season program. They don't open up free agency after minicamp because a kid got beat out and says you can now put your name back in the portal again, or you can put your name in free agency to see if you can catch on with another team. There's one window for free agency. It's just like we have 2 signing dates for the high school kids. I don't know why we have 2 signing dates. We should have 1 signing date and 1 window for the transfer portal, and everybody should have an opportunity to transfer. I'm not down on that, but I don't know why there's 2 windows. I don't know why after spring ball you have to hold your breath and say, is this kid coming back? Is this kid not coming back? Did we treat him well during the spring? If you want to compete for a job and stay here through the spring with us, then fantastic. If you don't, then put your name in the portal, and if we can help you get on with another team, that would be great. But I don't know why there has to be 2 windows. That doesn't make sense to me.
Zach Charbonnet was an incredible player for you guys when he was there. Now you've got Carson Steele. What kind of player do you have in him?
They're similar. I think Carson is a little bit bigger. Carson is 6 foot. He's 228. Real strong kid, benched 420 in testing, squatted 650. He's just a beast of a kid. But we have a couple other guys. TJ Harden, who came on towards the end of the year for us at running back, was a true freshman last year and did a really nice job. Ran for 100 and some odd yards in the bowl game against Pitt. And then Colson Yankoff, who actually scored twice against Colorado last year, was our goal line running back. And Colson is a lot better. He's a 6'4", 230-pound kid. And then we took a transfer from Army who's 6'3", 245, and Anthony Atkins. So we're a lot bigger and more physical. Last year, I think after Zach played, there was a drop-off. We had a couple 170-pound scat backs in there, and then TJ was a freshman. Now we've got 3 kids that are 230 plus, and then another 220 kids. So I think we're a lot bigger and more physical at running back.
Awesome.
Coach, thanks for your time.
We appreciate it, Coach. Good to meet you.
It.
Good luck this year.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. There you go. Chip Kelly, love the transfer portal answer.
Absolutely.
Yep. I mean, it's one of those things that you understand, but it just feels weird.
Yeah.
And I think you did a good job of explaining it. Like, you transfer in, and you have 14 practices, something like that in the spring.
Oh man, I think it's 15 with the game counting as one. Yes.
Okay, so 15 practices, and then you leave.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that's enough time for you to fit in, for you to develop. But at the same time, you don't want to transfer into a place, find out you're not getting reps with the 1s or the 2s, and then be stuck there. So it's it's always a balance. But I understand where he's coming from on that, where it's like, well, we can't even necessarily, if we want to keep a guy, we almost have to, give him reps that maybe he's not earning.
Zico, I mean, we still talk about him a lot. And, if he was in that situation, this was a guy who, obviously, he went to the SEC, was a highly touted transfer recruit. But if he didn't really fit in on this roster, he would have just been stuck here.
Yep.
And it would have been a wasted year for him. So I get what Coach is saying, but it's just, every player, they enter the portal for specific reasons. They pick their school for specific reasons. It's just each case is such an isolated incident. There really is no, one fix-all to every, transfer portal issue that college football faces.
Totally agree. What's up, Curtis?
What's up, Curtis?
That was what else did you take away from Chip there? Yeah, you can talk to. There we go. What else did you take away from Chip?
Bro, I've been looking forward to this one all day because Chip Kelly. We know who he is. Obviously, was an innovator at Oregon. What he was doing way back in New Hampshire was innovative. He tried to bring it to the NFL. It didn't work. But just how he thinks about the game, it's refreshing. It's very interesting always. And how he mentioned it. You got to kind of design an offense and build your team around what you have, really. Like putting players in position to succeed. I know it sounds super simple and everyone's going to say they do it, but not everyone does it as well as he does.
No. And, you can talk about his run in the NFL. You can talk about, obviously, UCLA hasn't had quite the success that he had at Oregon. But as an offensive mind, certainly one of the founding fathers of the way that college football is played today.
Yeah.
So, you got to have a lot of respect for him. But I love what he said about it's just personnel. That's why the offense changed. We had good tight ends, so we put him out there on the field and, figured out ways to get him the ball.
When you asked him about Sean Lewis, too.
Yeah, I love that he brought up Colin Schlee because that totally just light bulb moment for me. And that's an exciting endorsement for sure. That's what I'm most. I don't know. I've probably said 10 different things I'm most excited about, but I'm so excited to see the way that Sean Lewis formulates this offense and how he adjusts in game and the way that he sets things up and. It's just it's an art form, in my opinion, calling plays, and I think he's a pretty good artist.
I think he's going to be forced to kind of do his best Chip Kelly impression this year in terms of fitting. He wants to do what he wants to do. He's going to bring in the tempo. He's going to bring in the power run game. He's going to bring in the RPOs. But with, your best offensive player is Travis Hunter. And when he's kind of playing both ways, you obviously got to not completely, but you still need to morph your team around when he's not on the field too. And I think we're going to see something, very multiple. It's going to be, tons of different formations. And it may be even a week-to-week thing where the offense kind of looks different based on if Travis is playing more offense or defense or whatnot.
Absolutely. I also thought it was interesting the way he answered the question about Coach Prime and the way that he's formulated the roster. He is the only person we have talked to today that has had that answer.
I think he's genuine with it, too.
Totally.
I honestly think he doesn't care.
Totally. After we kind of show all of our interviews, we can get to who we think might have had, some of these negative anonymous quotes. I have some takes. I don't think it was Chip Kelly.
No.
And I think that was maybe one of my original thoughts.
Really?
But it wasn't, and I think he's 100% spot on in that approach to it. Everyone here has essentially said something like, yeah, I've been seeing stuff on social media.
Yep.
He didn't say that.
Right. All right.
We have until 1:55 until our next guest.
We can do our last ad break if you want.
Let's do it. Well, okay. Yeah, that's fine. No reason not to.
All right.
Let the people know.
I tell you guys about our Shady Rays all the time out in Denver. And this is the place to have your Shady Rays. They are almost essential. You need them out here. I was wearing mine until 11:30 last night.
Almost just broke mine. They would have replaced them for free.
They would have, actually, too. You're ready to take on the sun with gear built to last.
I am. I've been saying that all day.
Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company. They offer a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've ever worn. Durable frames, extremely clear, polarized optics. Like you just said, Shady Rays has you covered. If you break or lose your pair, they will replace yours. Or even if you don't like them, DNVR, I read a comment, Jesus. Shady Rays will send a new pair just for you.
Oh, yeah, try those on.
Ooh, RGs.
RG Shady Rays. Let's see how they look
on
on
cool
Jay.
enough to wear these?
Damn.
Ooh.
That actually changes your entire vibe.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You're a lot more likable now.
Wow, thanks.
I feel like you feel a lot more Vegas-y.
Okay.
Also, just like totally changes the way that your facial hair looks.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how to explain
Interesting. Okay.
Am I right?
I'm about to see myself right now.
It makes it a little more threatening, I'm going to be honest.
These are cop glasses.
Maybe that's what it all is.
Go to ShadyRays.com or shop their entire collection at the Park Meadows Mall. Mention DNVR or use the code DNVR. You'll get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. And you could try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people.
Susie Hunter in the comments. What's up, Susie?
Susie, what's up?
She said you need to keep the sunglasses.
I think RG may, yeah.
This is charity. I'm sorry.
All right.
763 likes. We're doing
Smash
1,000
that like
today.
button.
We're going to hit
Absolutely.
1,000 today. Let's go. Keep it coming.
Who do we have next?
I think Michael Penix is coming up next.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, excited to talk to him.
Hell yeah.
So many good quarterbacks in this conference, man. We're going to be really – this might be the last year of this conference.
Yeah.
But we're going to be really lucky to cover this year of this conference because we're going to see some great quarterback play.
And they're going to be playing on Sundays.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll be able to say we saw them win. And here comes Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr.
Hey, Michael. Jake Schwanitz. Nice to meet you.
What's up, man? I'm RK. Nice to meet you.
How you doing, man? How you enjoying Vegas?
Good, man. Enjoying it a lot. It's been great. It's been great.
A little warmer than Washington?
Yeah, a lot warmer. I say Washington feels good right now, but this is unbearable.
Man, I can't tell you how much I enjoyed watching you last season. Just carve up defenses. How do you learn accuracy, I guess? I know that's kind of an impossible question to answer, but you were so damn accurate with the football. Was this something you always had, or did that just kind of come on?
It just comes with repetition, just getting comfortable with the guys. And for me, they make it easy for me. I got a great group of receivers that, get open, and, it's just like pitch and catch. So, and then the offensive line blocking for me extremely well. So I'm just back there just throwing it. So it's not really hard. It just takes some time and, like I said, repetition.
Mm-hmm. Is that the part of your game that you take the most pride in?
Yeah, for sure. And just being able to, pick the defense apart. Just being in the offense for going on 5 years now. I've seen almost every play that we have in our book with almost every coverage. And obviously we put in new plays as well, too. But just our coaches do an unbelievable job, just make sure we get as many reps as possible going into game week so that whenever we get to the game, I feel as comfortable as I should be.
Yeah, I think another part of your game that stands out is just your ability to recognize coverages. I guess sort of the same question. How do you develop that part of your game?
Film study, and just understanding, just trying to find tendencies that the defense like to do. But not everything goes how you want it to go, like how you thought it would go. So I'm more of a guy that can feel the field. I can feel the whole field, and I'm just so comfortable in the offense. It's like I know where my outlets are, and I just watch techniques all the time. I see a safety's technique on film, a corner's technique on film, so that before I even catch the ball, I'm like 70, 85% like between there of knowing where I want to go.
Love that.
You made second team All-Pac. Rome was first team. I think Jalen was second team as well. What's it like playing with those guys on the outside? What are they like on the field, and also what are they like off the field?
Yeah, they're amazing, but those are guys that work extremely hard. They're some of the hardest workers on our team, and they put a lot of pride into their game. They take a lot of time and to making sure that they do the extra work as well. But I would say that whole receiving room is amazing. Just to be able to have Jalen Polk, Jeremy Bernard, Giles Jackson, young guys, Denzel Boston, just guys like that, just to push each other to be great like that. I feel like it's a big thing. We have a lot of guys that can play really good football.
Mm-hmm. The quarterbacks in this conference are so good this season. We're out in Colorado, so the guy that we're watching the closest is Shedeur Sanders. I'm curious if you are familiar with his game at all, and or if you know him at all.
Yeah, I actually just met him for the first time when I got here. But as far as familiar with his game, I'm not too familiar with it. I didn't really get to watch too much of the SWAC. Maybe sometimes like before our games they were on at a time, but not really getting too much time because before our games and stuff they play around like earlier in the day, and at that time we're doing a lot of studying and getting ready for our games. So I didn't really get to watch too much of him, but based on what I've heard and some of the things that I did see, he's a very talented quarterback. I wish the best for him.
We're from Colorado. We cover the Buffs. With Coach Prime coming in, he had the whole roster turnover. What was your reaction when you saw what was going on here?
What you mean?
Just with all the players that entered the portal and all the players he brought in, just the staggering amount was like 50 both ways, basically.
What was my reaction?
Yeah.
Man, they're doing what they got to do to win football games. That's what it's about. You got to do whatever you got to do to win football games, and you got to find the guys that you feel that best fit your team. But we don't play them this year, so it's not really something that I was just all locked into.
Right.
What's the next step for you this year? What are you trying to improve in your game as you progress?
Yeah, just everything, all across the board. I feel like last year I had a decent season. Some people say I had a good season. I feel like it was decent. I feel like there's a lot that I left out there, and a lot that I want to get back. But coming back, I got the opportunity to be able to get those plays back, and to be able to, show how great University of Washington football team is.
Who are your favorite quarterbacks, the guys that you watch and try to adapt to your game and try and pick pieces off of?
Yeah, so growing up, I was a Mike Vick guy. Being a lefty quarterback. I was more of a scrambler back then whenever I was younger, but now I'm more a pocket guy. But growing up, I say whenever I first started getting into high school, I was watching a lot of Teddy Bridgewater. When he was at Louisville, he did a lot of great things there as well. So those are the two guys that I really had looked up to.
Were you gaming with Michael Vick in Madden?
Oh yeah.
Back in the day when he was just
04. Oh yeah.
Yes. Just
for sure.
Hail Mary, bail out of the pocket.
I'm running every time.
Speaking of video games, we got the NCAA video game coming out next year.
We gonna be on it?
I don't know. Do you want to be on it?
Yeah. If we go on it, yeah. If not, Lord's willing, I'll be in a Madden soon. So
let's go.
Love that. Do you have any thoughts on kind of the dispute that's going on there with the college football game about how much money the players should get off of it and whatnot?
Nah. I hope they get the maximum. I hope whoever it affects, I hope that they get the most money that they could out of it.
Amen to that. Me too. I also hope we get to play it.
Yeah. Hopefully sometime soon, man. Are we good?
Yep.
All right, man.
All right, appreciate
you.
Yes,
Nice to meet you, man. Good luck. Stay healthy.
Yep. Good luck, man. There he is, one of the very many great quarterbacks in this conference that will be playing on Sundays very soon.
Yes. One of the best players overall in the conference, too.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch him play, and I'm excited to see his game at the next level.
Absolutely. He's going to be a lot of fun. We have Kalen DeBoer coming up 15 minutes.
Nice.
All right. Well,
let's get back to the Buffs.
What about the Buffs?
We can hit questions right now if there's any.
If you guys want to send some questions in.
You're going to have to read them for us, Alyssa.
We have some super chats.
Oh, hell yeah.
Super chats.
Let's get those out of the way.
Sorry in advance if you wanted to ask a question to the players. We took them all up.
Yeah.
You can give us questions for any of these random guests we have coming up.
So we'll have Kalen DeBoer.
Oh, real quick, Allie, what were you saying about the commissioner? You can just say it to us while we're live.
What's up? Join the show.
Yeah, come on. Also, we have Allie and Alyssa here today, which is really confusing for the people who think that's the same person.
Right.
Yes, we are different people, I promise. The commissioner is going to come on, but he said he wanted to come on with Pac-12 head of football.
Okay.
So he's just gonna have a friend. So you're gonna get four people.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I already told them.
Okay.
We already got them
Okay.
the quick
All right,
one.
cool.
Yeah.
So how are we gonna make that work logistically? Let's go behind the curtain.
All right, so we're gonna have to. Alyssa might stand, or we might have to steal another chair from another group. We do have the fourth mic, so that'll be easy. You guys might have to get really close, squeezed together.
All right.
This mic is so sensitive. I'm like, ooh.
I told you.
You gotta. I hear my breathing.
Yes.
Oh, the chat was freaking out earlier because Ryan's levels were low. They weren't. Jake is just not used to having the mic so close to his mouth, so his levels were popping like crazy.
Jeez, Jake.
So we had to rearrange that, but that's the reason why.
I'm messing up the recording back home. I'm messing up the recording on the road.
I vote your mic performance 8th.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's disrespectful, bro.
It is what it is, man. Like he had his mic out here. That's not good.
It actually still sounds fine somehow.
That's what I'm saying, because I could hear myself breathing, and I was like, I know if I can hear it.
But yeah, so your levels were popping. Ryan's was like normal, so we had to. Your levels like on the board are like down here now because you're just talking so loud. I'm proud of you. You got energy.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. We're having
How
a
could
blast
you not?
here.
How could you not today?
All right. Ryan Green's very confused as to why I got to sit down. Yeah.
Do you want to sit down?
No, one Ryan on the set.
Only
That's in
one
my
Ryan at a
contract.
time. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any Pac-12 Media Day takes? Anyone that's impressed you or anything?
I think it's so funny, like the way that Shedeur just hopped on here. That's how he is on every set, and they have like people who are walking around with them, like trying to direct them. She's like running around trying to catch up to him because he just like goes and he's like, they're like, oh, over there. And he just runs and like sits down immediately, and she's like, oh my god. So he's just excited and ready to be here.
Let's go.
Travis seemed just like annoyed and tired, and he was. Shedeur was trying to get him playing cornhole over there and trying to get him a little more alive. Like every time that I talk to an athlete right now, they're like dead.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just been
It's
a
been
long
a long day.
It's been a long day for them. Yesterday they had a really long day. They were here around 8 hours, and then today too with the media. So got to give them a break. But Travis was great on the show.
Honestly, Travis is just different though. Like
he really is.
All he cares about is just lining up between the lines.
Yeah.
And he thinks that all of this is, unnecessary, which it is.
Yeah.
But it helps us do our jobs.
Yeah, I just love his YouTube channel. I want love when he's just.
Yeah,
that's
I
so
know.
fun. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason I said that. But like Shedeur said, he's just like tired, so it makes sense.
Fair enough.
All right, well I'll
All right.
hop off.
Thanks,
All right.
Al.
Bye guys.
We have super chats, Alyssa.
Yes.
Let's get them.
Okay, hang on just a second here. Okay, from Kayla, question for, quarterback 1, what are the top 3 games you're looking forward to this season? In a Maybach truck or a Lambo?
Oh, geez. Well, I can't.
I don't even want to
that
answer
one.
for him. Yeah.
Top 3 games I'm looking forward to are Nebraska, CSU, and USC.
I will say, I think we got a step closer to getting Shedeur in the bar.
I do
sure
too.
Today.
I do too.
So you'll have a chance to ask that again sometime soon, hopefully.
Hell yeah. All right, what else we got?
Okay, we've got another
Who
one
invited
from
this guy, man?
Original Fire Interviews, DNVR becoming mainstream. You changed. Dang, in my Coach Prime voice.
Wow.
Let's go. Appreciate the super chats.
Okay, from our guy Sean.
What's up, Sean?
Ask Dan Lanning about Coach Mo when y'all have him on.
Oh, okay.
Did he coach them?
Yeah, well, he was at Georgia with Coach Mo.
Oh, great point.
See, this
Hell
is why
yeah.
I love the chat.
Sean just is, he's got every little nugget you need on the Georgia Bulldogs.
He's extremely dialed on really everything.
Yep. That's our guy.
Anything else?
Jake, did you have a check?
I did just because of this.
Oh, we can move that in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What else do we got?
From Woody, who's the most underrated player on the Buffs? I think Smoke will be so huge on the short downs.
Most underrated player on the Buffs. Man, what a great question. What?
I could say something that would set the chat off, but I'm going to be nice today.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Most underrated.
Some of them know what I'm talking about.
Honestly, I think it's hard to say a Sanders, but I think Shiloh is underrated. I think that Shane Cokes is underrated.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's going to be my answer. Shane Cokes is the most underrated player. Only we know about him right now.
Right.
I think a lot more people will know about him by the end of the year.
It's a hard one to answer, man. And I just saw it in the chat, but I think it's Tyler Brown in terms of player who isn't talked about enough, who is supremely talented and just ready to take the next step.
That's a great one. That is a great one. And again, the definition of underrated.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
That would have been a good answer. You should have said it.
The chat loses it when we talk about him.
Don't let the chat scare you, bro.
I'm not scared of the chat.
All right, what else we got?
Did y'all from Jabriel, did you guys see George's comment on the red and white cleats?
Rick George.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He quote tweeted it, said something about like sickest looking shoe. Then someone asked him or responded to him saying, "But they're red," and he said, "Not when we actually wear them."
Yeah. People have, I get asked about the most random things. But one of the things I've been asked about lately, because I think people think I would be upset about this, was like, how did you feel about them wearing red cleats and green and gold cleats? And I'm being 100% honest when I say I don't care anymore. I really don't give a shit. You know who's wearing those cleats? Shedeur Sanders.
And Travis Hunter and Cormani McLean.
I am so happy that they have a Buff logo on their chest that I could not care about any other colors that they wear. I know, I'm supposed to be the guy that cares about this, but I just don't. I cannot care about that. They're going to have them in black and gold. The reason they exist in red and white right now is because they brought those back for Kyler Murray.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the green and gold ones. I'm sure the chat knows. But I really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm just glad those guys are here.
I love you, chat. I just want to make that clear.
The girls club said y'all got Jake shook after last week.
Just got him walking on eggshells.
Do we have anything else?
Let's see. Lawrence is asking, is a Pac-12 finish or close to a deal?
We're going to be able to find out exactly here.
No, we're not.
Well, we could try, I guess.
I think they are. It sure sounded like yesterday the schools were supposed to find out something, but they're keeping it quiet.
The chancellor talked to the Post and said that they were going to be shown or presented something, but I don't know.
Speaking of the Post.
Oh, are we going to do it?
How about that headline?
What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you read it? First off,
No.
I read it this morning.
I couldn't get through the paywall.
There is a line at the end that is very questionable.
My question is just, what are we doing here? There's just certain lines that shouldn't be crossed, and I'm sure the chat knows exactly what we're talking about, but the headline was extremely off-putting, and I was honestly hoping you would say, that the article wasn't as bad.
It's pretty bad.
Okay.
It's pretty bad.
Rough.
Okay.
You're going to pull it out for us? Pull the quote?
So at the very end, this is the paragraph. Coach Prime took the gig at CU in part because it was developing the reputation as the world's prettiest football graveyard. Over the last 25 years and 7 coaches, only Mel Tucker and Rick Neuheisel have parlayed their tenures in Boulder as a springboard to something, in quotes, better. You just hope Sanders gets a chance to plant enough seeds at Folsom Field before the ground swallows him whole.
Whoa.
What?
What the hell is that?
What are we, I don't know. I actually don't want to give this any more attention.
That's fine.
Because I just realized as you were reading that that's what it wanted. And so we were giving it that. Doesn't deserve it.
Doesn't.
But that's Bush League shit.
That is...
Especially the headline.
That's just beyond fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, not right. Not right at all.
No.
Okay.
All right.
Back, let's try and focus up here. Any more questions?
We've got one more from Eric. RK and Jake, do you think the number 11 ranking is based on the 1-11 record?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Tap into that.
I think it's just... I've said it a lot the last few weeks. I think it's laziness. I think it's lack of effort to actually learn this team and realize what's actually going on in Boulder. That's what it is.
But doesn't that come from the 1-11? To me, it's a combination of those things. it's a team that went 1-11, and then honestly, just the college football world as a whole hasn't really stopped and taken the time to learn about what's actually happening here. Mm-hmm. In fact, most people who weren't paying attention think that a bunch of people left because they didn't like it, and then they were scrambled to refill the roster. Mm-hmm. So if that's the way you think about it in your head, you're obviously going to think, oh, this team's going to suck this year.
Right.
As you and I know, and anyone in the chat or who has paid attention knows, that was all by design. Coach Prime told us he was going to do it. He did it. Mm-hmm. He succeeded at it. If you remember, there's people who said they were going to play with 65 scholarships, and they filled it out in 3 weeks. So I think that if you weren't paying attention, you just think, oh, it's a 1-11 team who just rearranged the decks, the chairs on the Titanic.
Right.
Which couldn't be further from the truth. Exactly. So I think it's both, and it really does just come down to a laziness. But I love it. To be honest, I love it. I'm glad that's where they landed because I'm excited to see what it looks like at the end of the season.
Giving Coach Prime and these players as much bulletin board material as they've received this offseason, I think everyone else will learn a lesson this time next year.
I think so, too.
Connor, we'll have Oregon State stuff coming out later. We've got it on video.
We actually will.
Kenny D is going to be on the PHNX Sun Devils show.
Yes, he is. And I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah.
Also, we've joked about him, but he's a good sport for sure.
He is, yeah.
And, maybe more than some of the other coaches.
Oh, when we get back in Denver, we will do. We'll go through every coach and redetermine and the vibe rankings, of course. But then who may have been the anonymous one?
Okay, cool. We have Coach DeBoer coming on.
Let's go. Washington head coach Kalen DeBoer joining the show now.
How you doing, Coach?
You're fine.
No. Recruiting never stops,
Jake
right?
Schwanitz. Nice to meet you, Coach.
Little something at a time. So.
How's it going, Coach? Ryan Koenigsberg.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Nice to meet you.
Doing all right.
That's good.
How you feeling about your team this season? Obviously, last year, you lost 2 tough games, very close to making it to the Pac-12 or winning the Pac-12, really. How do you feel about this year's team?
Yeah, we return really the core nucleus. We lose a few interior offensive linemen. But I think we, returned really the core group of guys that helped us win a lot of football games last year. So we're excited and built on the momentum from a year ago. And, the guys are working. They're not just expecting it to happen. They're going to go make it happen.
We just had your quarterback on a few minutes ago. Super, super awesome kid. What makes him special to you?
Well, I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Number one, just a great person. And I think, he's been through a lot over the course of his career with injuries and just the adversity that's come his way. He's a 6-year senior, so there's a lot of moments on the field, off the field that he's learned from. And, he just keeps getting better and better. He's in a really good place last year and this year, really 2 full years of training and building his body up. And, getting through a full season was a big deal last year. And, he threw for a zillion yards, but he just got a good head on his shoulders, real consistent, just day to day brings it and his teammates, I think they find that it's pretty easy to root for him just because he's got a humility side to him too, and he knows he can't do it all on his own.
Your receiving room too, also very talented, very deep. Of course, Jalen and Rome being the headliners. Just having them with Michael Penix, it feels really like a perfect match. Is it hard to really even design an offense around them, or is it just the players are so good that they kind of take care of it themselves?
Yeah, our system needs everyone to be a threat. All 5 skills besides the quarterback, tight ends, running backs, receivers, all need to be guys that are threats to get down the field and make plays, whether it's out of the backfield or line up at receiver. But, the offensive system works to, I think, have that balance. But you certainly are making sure that, you got a priority of getting the ball and opportunities to Rome and Jalen in particular, both those guys, to where they get their touches. And the things that they can do with the ball in their hands are, really impressive. And they did a great job last year, and they're working even harder to have a better year this year.
circling back to Michael, how important and how far can accuracy take you as an offense and take you as a quarterback?
Well, I mean, it's a big difference if even if you're throwing a 3-yard pass and you can't complete it, which seems really easy, but 2nd and 10 versus 2nd and 7, even if you get tackled right away, it's a big deal. So that efficiency, I think, is important, and that comes through being number one, understanding your situation each down, and number 2, executing the play and being able to make that throw. And sometimes we take it for granted, but Mike's a high-level guy, and he does all those things very well, consistently, each and every play.
We're from Colorado. We cover the Buffs. Savell Smalls now at Colorado. I guess, what does he need to do to actually hit, that ceiling or hit his potential that he was recruited at, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Savell's a great football player, and a great kid, great person. He's not a kid anymore, so I shouldn't say it that way, but he's a great person. I think the world of Savell. He was at a position that was just extremely competitive in our program. And so, I always wish nothing but the best. I mean, this time of college football comes and goes so quickly, and so going to wish nothing but the best for good people, and he's a good person. And, I think he's on track. Everyone always asks that question, like, what's he got to do more? Well, he's just got to find a place where maybe there isn't, first-team All-American or 2,
right,
lined up in front of him. And so, I think you'll be happy with what you got there with Savell, and, we'll certainly follow him, and, we wish him the best.
Awesome.
Curious if you have any thoughts just on the way that Coach Prime in Colorado turned over that roster this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, I think every coach, you're hired to do a job, and you do it to the best of your ability, and every situation is different. I came into one where, Washington, where I felt a lot of the roster was pretty strong, and just needed a little consistency there, and just, maybe a couple additions, and I think we brought in maybe 12 transfers, 10, 12 guys to fill in some spots, and that worked for us. But every coach has got to do, and you're hired to do a job. And in today's world of football, college athletics, I guess in general, the demand to win soon is the clock's ticking the day you step on campus. And so everyone's got their way of doing it. Now with the rules and the way that you're able to do that, you gotta take advantage of it. And so trust that he's doing what's best for his football team.
Sorry, go ahead.
Do you look back? How do you look at that in terms of the, if you will, instant gratification? When it comes to the short lease that coaches have these days. At Colorado, Bill McCartney struggled for years before he finally broke through and eventually got that team to win a national title. Like, is it a shame in your eyes that coaches are expected to win maybe in the first 2 years in today's day and age?
Yeah, I think it's all relative too, and what that program is, right? Because there's some programs that actually win a lot, and they still aren't winning enough because a championship is what the expectation has been because of 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years ago with the depending on the program. So, it is what it is. It's just you got to evolve, and you got to understand that's the times we're in, and we get paid to do a job and come in and build our program. And you do have to have some urgency to it, and what that urgency is dependent, again, on the situation you come into.
Just going back to the edge players, with Braylon and Zion, I mean, those guys are obviously very, very talented. What does it do for your defense, having 2 bookends really on the edge?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sets the tone, I think, for the rest of the defense, because those guys not only just do a good job against, getting pass rush, they're good against the run too, and anytime you get the pressure on the quarterback, and especially if you get into a situation where it's a passing down, the clock's ticking for the QB, and that makes your defensive backs look better, and it goes the other way too. Your defensive backs, if they're doing their job and you get that split second longer, and then cause some problems for the quarterback and make him, move out of his spot and things like that. It all works together, but we feel really good about that piece, in our program, and I'm excited to see those guys have a great year.
In my eyes, this is as strong as I've seen the Pac-12 top to bottom in the season. What sort of challenges does that present, just having, that type of challenge each week?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't obviously my second year in the Pac-12, but have been on the West Coast now for 6, and certainly have a good gauge, having played Pac-12 games, even when I was at Fresno State. But I mean, I would agree. I don't know of it being ever better than what it is now, top to bottom. And you got the high-end teams that certainly can compete, I think, for a championship. There's a number of them, many of them. And, it's a tribute to the conference, and it's going to be a fun season for all the fans, both in your own institution and just college football fans in general. So I'm glad to be a part of it. It means that there's a couple more maybe longer nights than you want it to be, but I mean, you're pouring everything into it anyway. So I don't know if that's necessarily the case. So it's just it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun year.
I got one more, then we'll let you go. If you could change one thing about college football, what would you change?
I guess, I mean, you go to the most recent things, you're probably expecting portal and things like that. I think there's a place for the portal, I mean, I think it's just tweaking things. I think there's definitely a place for NIL. I love NIL. I think it's important for our guys. So I'm not going to go there. I mean, I'd like to keep the number of being an offensive guy and kind of hoping that we can run as many snaps as possible in a game this year. Probably going back to making sure that we don't stop the clock for every first down. Let's just keep it as recent as we possibly can. So, I mean, that's a small thing, but it will also impact some games and how quickly it goes and the number of snaps we get each and every game. But it's going to evolve. I mean, that's just society in general. That's football. That's all athletics. And so you just continue to evolve with the times.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much for your time and good luck.
You bet. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
There you go. Another awesome guest on the show. Tons of great insight. And I love what he said about the accuracy when it comes to quarterback, because that's what I've been talking about so much with Shedeur.
You guys be ready for Coach Lanning?
Yeah. Yep. And the crazy thing about it is he mentioned exactly the way I think of it. 2nd and 7 versus 2nd and 10, because you threw one ball right. And the other part is if you hit the slant in the right spot, it could be to the house versus 3 yards and tackled.
Right.
And we're going to go right into to Coach Dan Lanning here.
Lanning. Hey, Coach. Jake Schwanitz. Nice to meet you.
Ryan Koenigsberg. Nice to meet you, Coach.
5 more after this.
You almost made it, man.
That's right.
I think you might have the best suit jacket of the day.
I was going for that.
Yeah.
I was hoping somebody might say, my wife's good at dressing me, I guess, right?
Coach, you guys lost Kenny Dillingham. He stays in conference at ASU. I guess, what do you expect from him as a head coach?
Yeah, Kenny's a phenomenal coach, and he's a great person. So I'm excited to see what he does down there, especially for him. I know how much Arizona means to him and being in his hometown.
Did you work with Coach Mo at Georgia?
I did. Yeah.
What can you tell us about him? We're out of Colorado.
Yeah, he's got great juice. He's innovative. He thinks of things outside the box. I think he's looking to grow and does a good job connecting with the players.
Bo Nix made a great jump last year. He at Auburn kind of struggled, but comes to Auburn and he's one of the best quarterbacks comes to Oregon, one of the best quarterbacks in the conference right away. Why was that jump so massive for him?
Yeah, I think Bo found a new level of confidence in himself, and I think the world of college football got to see what Bo Nix is capable of. We fit really well in our system. He operated within the framework of the system, but still was able to use his elite talent really to showcase that.
Like I mentioned, we're Colorado-based. Curious if you just have any thoughts on the transformation that program has kind of undergone over the last 6 months or so.
Well, I can't truly speak to everybody in that program. Travis is a guy that I recruited when I was at Georgia. He's a phenomenal talent, even Shedeur. But yeah, I think it's been good for college football. It's certainly been good for our conference to see what's happening there.
You guys have also attacked the portal too, but if you could change one thing about college football right now, what would that be?
Yeah, that's a really hard question because there's so many pieces within that. Ultimately, I hope that people are still playing for the love of the game.
Yeah.
And and understanding that adversity creates a man, and we've given some outs to people to maybe avoid adversity and not experience that anymore. And I hope, the framework of football for me, what it creates and how it develops young men, I hope that's never really lost in sight.
When we talk to people, a lot of coaches in this conference, it's often about offense. Everyone wants to talk offense. In fact, one coach told us today, that's what it's about. You guys have to score more points than the other. Coming from the defensive side of things, how do you counter that?
Yeah, ultimately, I mean, I think you have to have a great defense to win championships. You know, Utah won this past year, and they've always, traditionally had a good defense. I think throughout the myriad of things, when you look at what it takes to have a successful team, you can't just have one or the other, right? If you have weaknesses, you're going to get exposed. So you want to be able to do both, and defense is a big part of that, so is special teams.
A few years ago, Oregon State was only a 2-win team. Of course, last year happened. How do you try and make sure that you guys are still staying ahead of them in terms of recruiting, everything?
Yeah, it's an awesome, it's a continuous process, and Coach Smith's obviously done a phenomenal job there at Oregon State. They've got a great culture, and they've done a good job with their program, but you've seen it change over time. And, for us, I can't spend my time thinking about Oregon State. I got to spend my time thinking about Oregon, and that's really our focus. We got to be the best version of us. You can put a team up there every single week. The team that we got to play best against is Oregon. We got to do the best version of us.
What do you think of just the level of quarterback play that this conference has this season?
How many times you asked that question today?
A lot.
A bunch. We got quarterbacks in this league, man. It makes it exciting. It makes it tough for defenses, which is fun. But you look at this conference traditionally over time, they've had a lot of great quarterbacks that have gone on to play in the NFL and had success, obviously, in college. I think it's no different this year. We have as much talent as any team or any conference in the nation. We're just really fortunate to have one of those great quarterbacks on our team.
CU plays Oregon. I think it's Game 5 this year, so it's a little bit down the road.
4, I think.
Okay, but if it was earlier and you played them, say, week 1 or week 2, how would you approach scouting this team that has so many new players, so many new coaches? Just last year's film, I mean, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, we'd watch Kent State. We'd watch Jackson State. We'd watch all these different programs. But great thing for this is I don't have to operate in hypotheticals because that's not the case.
That's true.
All right, Coach. Thank you for your time. You're down to 4 more.
Appreciate it, Coach.
5.
5 more. All right.
We got to work on your guys' count, man.
Good to meet you, Coach.
4s and 5s are hard for us. Doesn't help in blackjack.
All right, man.
That dude talks fast.
He does.
All right. What did you think?
Coach Lanning or Coach DeBoer?
Either one.
Coach
Those
DeBoer,
two, actually, the contrast between them is wild.
Yeah. I kind of, I asked Coach DeBoer that question about the bookends, and I wanted to try and tie it back to Colorado because they obviously have the 2 corners and just the different philosophies of building a defense. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting that, it's football, man. There's so many ways to construct a team. There's so many ways to construct a defense and offense and put your players in position to succeed. So it was just fascinating to kind of hear his perspective on that.
Yeah, I got such a calming sense from Coach DeBoer. He's one of those coaches that I assume when things are going great on game day, he brings a similar kind of outlook to when things are going terrible. And that's not to say that Coach Lanning doesn't have that same approach, but very different. I didn't get that very calm, cool, collected. He's more reminds me of the Sean Lewis,
right?
Type of coach who's just fired up, ready to go. He's sitting here counting down his interviews. He's probably thinking when he can get back to work.
Exactly. Are we getting
2:45?
2:45 for the commish.
Oh, okay.
And his friend. We should probably
He's
learn
probably
about
gonna be
his
something
friend.
really important, and I just messed it up.
Well, you said a Pac-12 head of football, right?
Yeah. He was if you want to talk expansion, then Commish is your guy. But if you want to talk football, this guy is better for that.
Well, we like talking football.
700
that's why I said it.
Teslas in the comments says in all caps, I think we found the anonymous coach.
Oh, wow. I think he just didn't like us, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which one? The one right now?
Yeah,
Coach Lanning.
Oh, I thought he did.
I think he's over today.
Oh, yeah. Well, so
We're losing interest from people that have been at the beginning of the day. We talked about our favorite interviews earlier before we had Colorado guys. We were the Washington State guys,
because they were our first
guys
interviews.
We talked to. We talked about 8 a.m. They were probably fresh off a coffee.
Right.
Now everyone's can I please just go home?
Yep.
The head of football played with Dion or something like that.
Oh,
I don't
Nikki
know who
told
Dion
me that.
is.
Coach Prime.
Thank you. I need to find a name here. I just Googled
Well, it would
that.
be, if we're talking during when he played, it would be prime time. Come on.
That's fair. I still don't know who this person is, though.
You guys have been live for almost 2 hours. How you feeling? Alyssa had to go take a break. She was like, oh, wait, I need to
Is it Merton
get
Hanks?
some water.
When we were walking up here, we saw
I think so.
giant beer pong.
Ooh.
That's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like I want to go play giant beer pong.
Well, we are going to go to Stadium Swim and watch the Women's World Cup, so that's going to be a lot
At
of
what
fun.
time? 5 o'clock?
Uh-huh.
That means we have a couple hours to play giant beer pong.
That's true. That's true.
I think this
Who
is
would
the
win?
guy.
What's the dream team and who would win?
Of who?
And
I'm saying
DNVR.
the dream team. Me and I haven't seen RG's jumper, but I know he likes playing basketball. I'm just going to take Shedeur on my team.
No, it has to be DNVR.
Actually, Travis is a hooper as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably me and RG, to be honest. It's just the Ryans versus everyone.
Wow.
Did you get the name?
Yeah,
I think
it's
it
Merton
is-
Hanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Did he play with Coach Prime?
He did. And he was a Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 29.
I knew I was going to mess
With
up. The comments are like,
the
duh.
Niners.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I've heard so many names today.
Yeah.
Our
They-
sheet has over 40 people on it.
The comments always know more than us.
I know.
But they're like, we're only 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're an army.
We have 65 more likes to get to 1,000.
Let's go, man.
Have we ever hit 1,000 live likes?
I don't think so.
I don't think we have either.
The
so-
live viewer numbers are crazy. I'll tell you what, though.
Yeah, you guys have been amazing today. This has been a quite the ride. And you guys have only seen half?
We haven't even played a game.
No, I meant like half the content we've created
Oh,
today.
true. But, like,
yeah.
we coming, man.
Oh, yeah. We are absolutely.
They want you guys to ask him about the chicken dance.
See,
he had a
sometimes
great
this is a
dance
setup.
after Oh, the chat plays with you guys like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what everyone thought we were doing when we were giving them barbecue sauce.
Yes.
They thought it was going to be like ghost pepper or something. Like, am I safe to do this?
We would have gotten kicked out, I think, if we tried something like that.
Yeah, we know the lines. At least I do. I like to blur them, but I know how to get right up next to them.
Yeah, you're experienced. I'll give you that.
Okay, Alyssa had this comment favorited, so
Sure.
it says Jake and RK compare this year's media day to last year's. Does Coach Prime have an effect there?
You know what's funny is I have been covering the Pac-12 on and off, not directly, but for 10, 11 years now, and I've never been to a Pac-12 Media Day. So this has been great. I actually regret not ever coming here before today.
Yeah. It's been a great day, man.
The access is amazing, and the energy around here has been great. It's cool. I honestly think if you came here last year and sat on Radio Row like this and asked people questions about Colorado,
we wouldn't have been approved for Radio Row last season.
Well, I mean, I don't know. They take good care of us here.
They do.
But I think honestly they would just be like, yeah, I don't really know much about what's going on over there.
Yep.
And we got that a little bit today, but at least everyone had a little something. Oh, I know Shedeur, or
Right.
I recruited Travis, or I've been seeing on social media and following along with all that's going on there. So that is an absolute effect on this, and it's been a great day.
Absolutely, man. It's been quite the experience. First time I've ever done anything like this, and it's been amazing. The amount of player, or just the type of players we're talking to, too. These are guys that are going to be, their highlights are going to be rolling over and over after they play on Sundays on SportsCenter.
So let's talk a little bit about Coach Prime not being here, because I have a theory.
Okay.
There's people who are saying, like, oh, couldn't he have just moved it or whatever? Like, first of all, that's some serious self-importance if you think someone should move a surgery to do some interviews.
Right.
On the other hand, I think he always knew that he wasn't going to be able to come here. And, someone somewhere maybe said, hey, could you wait to announce that? Because we're going to get a huge crowd if people think you're going to be here. And I also think, I'm going to whisper this, he's too big to be here.
True, though.
Like, it would be insane.
It would be insane.
There would be people following him everywhere.
You saw him at the Super Bowl.
I saw him at the Super Bowl. When this man walks around a room like this, people just follow him like a magnet.
Yeah.
And I don't, it would have been insane.
If he was sitting right here, it would have
There
been...
would be a crowd of people all around us watching.
Yep.
And wouldn't be new for him.
No.
But he could literally do Coach Prime Media Day and have 1,000 people there easily.
For sure.
Media.
I think you're right with that. This was going to happen because they mentioned this before he even had the first surgery. I think that he was going to have another one, and that would be the one that helped him. So I think this was already kind of baked in. And let's get it straight. That's so much more important than coming to a freaking media day.
Of course. I mean, and everyone should understand that.
Right.
We obviously wish Coach Prime the best. It sounds like he had successful surgery.
Yep.
He says he's going to run out with the team at TCU. And I love that he has that personal goal and that desire to be at a point where he can do something like that.
Yep.
Still have 7 more minutes.
Damn.
Jake's real antsy over here. It's like, are they coming?
I know. He keeps looking around. I'm like, hey, he's not even scheduled yet. He's scheduled to come over here at 2:45. So
I'm just looking around, too. I want to see who's still here.
We do have.
Tell you what, I'm tired of sitting in this chair.
I could feel that.
I could talk all day. We could talk Buffs all day.
Yeah.
I cannot sit in this chair all day.
We got a radio host over there who just keeps standing and yelling. You could do that.
Well, I would stand right out of the shot.
I mean, we could fix the shot. Thomas here said, are DNVR Buffs going to go to any road games this year?
Absolutely. We already have our TCU plans, which you guys can get in on. There's actually still tickets available. We just opened up some more for the hotel ticket tailgate package. We have over 75 people coming with us to that, which is going to be
bringing an army.
Sick. And then I think we're going to do at least one more, probably ASU and maybe more.
Hell yeah.
So.
And then Joshua asked, how's Circa? They have an amazing sports book.
Incredible, man. I just wish it wasn't all baseball. That's it.
You mean on TV right now?
On TV, yeah.
I know. Well, I actually didn't mind the wake-up call as much this morning because I woke up and watched like 4 holes of the British. But even that ends by noon.
Right.
So, but we're gonna watch Women's World Cup later.
Do you watch it out your window on Stadium Swim?
I know. I do have a sweet video of Stadium Swim, but no, or a sweet view of Stadium Swim, but no. I also have a nice TV.
Yeah,
Circa's amazing.
It really is.
Honestly, in terms of like cleanliness and just like overall, I don't know, feel of a hotel in Vegas, it's the best I've ever been to.
I agree.
What else we got, Allie?
Eric's asking if people are bummed Prime's not here. I don't think people are really that bummed, honestly.
I'm sure they are.
There are
yeah, I'm sure that people are very bummed, but everyone's just working.
Yep. Well, we've got some great players here, too.
The chat says they aren't trying to play you guys with this one. That he is known for his chicken dance after a touchdown.
That makes sense. Let's.
You got to Google that real quick.
Or was it an interception? I lost it.
I think I know. I can picture what we're talking about here.
Someone said, please try to get Bucky on the show.
We would love to get Bucky on the show, and he has a standing invite.
The HBCU Sports Wire said, love the show, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you tuning in.
I haven't seen Bucky since we got here.
I can see.
Yeah.
See Merton Hanks and Coach Prime getting along.
Oh yeah, for sure. How does the Sphere look? I wish I could tell you, man. I haven't been able to go visit the Sphere. We have Sphere 2 here, though.
We do. As I tweeted this morning, new Sphere just dropped. This one has a Buffs helmet on it sometimes.
How you feeling about CU's chances at landing CL3?
Really good. Really, really good.
Yep.
And if I say this every time, but I really do feel this way. If they don't get him now, they'll get him later.
No.
Yeah, flip season.
For sure.
All right, we believe you guys on the dance now.
Miss Loda with a nice nice comment. To Jake, you guys ate your websites today, covered in beer, of course, but says, I am so impressed with your questions and love the people you are. Thank you so much.
Really, really, really appreciate that. Eric says, RK and Jake, if the women three-peat at the World Cup, how do you feel and react?
Do you want to answer that?
I mean, greatness is expected at this point.
Of course.
It'd just be incredible.
It would be incredible. And my favorite part about it is you get to add another little star above the logo, so then I'm buying more gear.
There you go. How did anyone not ask Kliavkoff what he and other brass are doing to keep other teams from straying to better pastures? Well, we can we can do the thing.
Freddie said next year you got to have something for your guests to sign. That would actually be kind of a cool little.
Yeah.
I wanted to do
Polaroids. Polaroids, that would have been cool. Did you bring your camera?
No. I didn't come
hit
prepared,
1K.
but
Let's go.
Hell yeah,
1,000
chat.
likes.
You guys are incredible, man.
You guys are amazing.
101.
That's insane. This stream is gonna go crazy.
Yeah, for real. Ellie and Alyssa are the real MVPs. Shout out to you guys.
Oh, thanks.
Yes.
And RG, I guess.
Two totally different people.
Yes.
Three totally different people.
It's hilarious. The chat really had us thinking we were one person.
I mean, Allie could be short for Alyssa. So
I know.
And you were producing the show.
I know.
early
We
in the year.
confused them.
Yeah.
You know, we played them. Like, they like to play you guys. We played them a little bit.
That's true. All right.
Are you glad we didn't go live the entire day?
Yes.
Jake was like, we should just go live the whole time. We're like,
I would have been down, though. I would have been so down.
I think we could have
There
done
just would
it.
have been a lot of like downtime like this.
Again, just the chairs.
Yeah,
Couldn't have
the
done the
chairs are
chairs.
brutal.
I'm at my wit's end with the chairs.
Maybe next year we bring our own chairs then.
We should. We should bring like lazy boys.
Bring the fucking studio chairs, bro.
Yeah.
Let's just set it up.
Let's get a sponsor like
All right, commission's walking up.
Las Vegas Furniture, and just have them bring us some like sweet reclining chairs, and we can do it all day.
Oh,
come
all
on,
right, all right.
Yeah, come on
join us. How's it going, Ryan Konigsberg? Nice to meet you.
Hey, Jake Schwan, it's nice to meet you.
Scoot down. We're going all four here.
How's it going, Merton? Jake Schwan, it's nice to meet you. Jake Schwan, it's yeah.
Okay. Ryan Konigsberg. Nice to meet you.
Yes,
I just
sir.
lost my. All right, bear with us, chat, as we get set up here. First time all day. We've had 4 on set. How's your guys' day going?
It's a long day, but it's really fun.
Well, Commissioner, we have to ask you, the Pac-12 Media deal has been a massive topic. We still don't have a deal. Where are we right now?
We're going to be ready to announce the deal in the near future.
Okay. That's it?
That's it. That's
All
what
right.
you're getting.
Love it. Merton, you played with Coach Prime. Can you hear me?
No, lost.
Okay. We're let's figure out the.
Got you.
All right, back. You played with Coach Prime.
Yes, sir.
What was that like? What was that experience like for you?
Oh, it was great. We won a Super Bowl. We won a Super Bowl together, so it was great.
Look at him flashing his
I know.
Look, Coach Prime is I've been very fortunate in my athletic career to work, whether collegiately, professionally, and now with tremendous individuals. And Coach Prime is one of those people. I think it's obvious what he's brought to the city of Boulder, the Colorado program, to the Pac-12 in general, and really look forward to him continuing to put his stamp on that program and moving Colorado football forward.
With Coach Prime now being at Colorado, of course, how important do you all feel it is to keep Colorado in the Pac-12?
Well, it was important before Coach Prime, and it's important after. I don't think that changes it. Colorado made a choice a while back to leave the Big 8 and to come to the Pac-12, and all the reasons why they made that decision remain in effect today. I think the relationship that they have with our schools is special, and we love them and we want to keep them.
I've been talking a lot today about the quality of this conference, top to bottom, this season. As far as I can remember, it's as good as I've ever seen. A big part of that, in my opinion, is Colorado taking a huge, step forward. How great is that from your perspectives to see a team that obviously has struggled for a few years potentially put themselves in a position to get back in line with the pack?
Well, listen, it really helps. And I'll just give you one data point, and that is the idea that the first 2 weeks of the season, Fox has decided to do their big noon kickoff with Colorado games, one on the road at TCU, one at home against Nebraska. That's a resounding success for us to get that kind of exposure for a team that last year was 1-11.
Absolutely.
Just mirroring it. It's look, the great thing about the Pac-12, when teams are what I like to say rebuilding, they're very intentional about rebuilding. They're not satisfied with where they're at. Colorado's done a great job. Stanford, Coach Taylor, what he's done on the recruiting trail has been phenomenal. They have a great recruiting class come in. Arizona State, Kenny Dillingham, reinvigorating that program. So we're going to be fine in that respect, and certainly the teams that are at least going into the season looking to contend for CFP consideration, certainly our LA schools and USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington, on and on, Utah, as strong as any program in the country. We're super excited about that. And then, let me not forget my good friends at Washington State, Arizona. We really are loaded, and you hit it right on the head. We have the best quarterback room in the country, and it's not close.
I don't think so either.
It's really not a debate, quite honestly, right? So you're going to see a great quarterback week in and week out. We're going to score a ton of points. They're all experienced. We had the commissioner really enlighten even me. We had 8 quarterbacks last year throw for 3,000 yards. We got 6 of them coming back this year. So we're not guessing here. These are known quantity student athletes at the most important position in football. So we're really excited about where we're at as a conference.
Just kind of building off that, when people talk about the Pac-12, especially in like the playoff conversation, they're usually left out, especially recently, and there is East Coast bias, of course. So do you think that the quarterbacks in this conference are enough to kind of push the Pac-12 in front of enough people's eyes to get the attention this conference deserves?
I saw a recent article, I believe it was on ESPN platform. This had to be about a month ago. It ranked the top 10 quarterbacks. The Pac-12 had 6 of the top 10. So I think there's a clear recognition that the conference is loaded, and I can certainly tell you from my colleagues on the professional side of the business are looking closely at our quarterbacks. These are guys that are going to be drafted relatively high, and they want to see how they perform, and they're going to get a chance to show their wares on the highest stage here in the Pac-12.
Who had better on-field celebrations, you or Coach Prime?
Oh, I did. I mean, because really, let's be honest. Anybody can do his deal.
Wow.
Not everybody can do my deal.
It's easy to say when he's not here.
No, I've said it to his face.
That's great. The media picked Colorado 11th. You know Coach Prime. You know kind of his competitive nature and his drive. Do you think he's being underrated?
Well, look, the media is from Missouri, and you got to show them, and so I'm okay with not only Colorado, but again, Arizona State, Stanford. We have to show every team in our conference that we are prepared to play high-level football, and I think we will.
Commissioner, San Diego State, of course, has been linked to the Pac-12 quite a bit. They're staying in the Mountain West now. Players have said that they were told a year ago that they were going to be joining the Pac-12. I guess, can you give us anything on that, and if the Pac-12 is going to be looking for expansion here very soon?
Well, we're definitely going to consider expansion. Expansion will come after we do our media deals and the grant of rights that are related to those deals. We don't talk specifically about any schools. We certainly haven't said anything to any schools that would indicate to them that they have an invitation. When the time comes, we'll make those invitations, but in advance of that, we're not going to talk about any specific schools.
On a personal note, has this process over the last year or so been difficult for you? And, where are you at, in your feelings about this whole thing right now?
Listen, I like puzzles. And I knew that when I was taking over the Pac-12 that it was a puzzle to solve. It got a lot more difficult when UCLA and USC decide to leave. But that's okay. I'm kind of built for this. I like working on difficult puzzles.
It seems like –
I was just going to say, I respect that answer. I like it.
It seems like we're headed towards, a Power 2 conference. So, the Big Ten keeps on expanding. The SEC keeps on expanding. With the Pac-12, obviously that West Coast bias or East Coast bias I mentioned has been, something that's kind of taken away from them in the past. Do you see, 5 years from now, the Pac-12 in the conversations with the Big Ten and the SEC?
Listen, I think one of the big changes that's coming right in front of us is the expansion of the college football playoffs. With 6 automatic qualifiers for conference champions, our football championship game every year is going to be a play-in game for the CFP. Team that wins that is going to the CFP every single year, and we think we're getting a second team in at least every year, and that's a game changer for us. You look historically back at the CFP era, and I wouldn't say it's an East Coast bias or anything. We've had a bunch of really good teams that have been beating each other up late in the season. You look at some of the other conferences in the Power 5, and they've had 1 or 2 exceptional teams head and shoulders above the rest of their leagues that have run the table in their leagues. And when you get through the entire conference schedule with no losses, it's a lot easier to get into the CFP. We've had issues where we've had a bunch of good teams, and they end up knocking each other off, giving each other 1 loss. And in the current structure with only 4 teams, you get a loss, you're out of the CFP. That won't be the case going forward, and that'll be a game changer.
Definitely want to add to that, and the Commissioner and I were having this discussion earlier, from a recruiting standpoint, because when you talk about recruiting, you're talking about recruitment of excellent student athletes, right?
Absolutely.
One of the goals that the Commissioner laid down when he first took the position, we want to keep our student athletes on the West Coast. So this year, our footprint, our conference was able to keep the majority of the 4- and 5-star kids on the West Coast, scattered throughout the West Coast. So it really bodes well for our future.
If the playoff was expanded, to 12 teams when it came, into fruition, 8 years ago or whatever it was, do you think the Pac-12 would have had a national champion?
Well, we would have had, on average, more than 2 teams in every single year for the entire history of the CFP, with the exception of the COVID year, where we didn't play a lot of games. And you look at that, and just statistically, you go, of course, we would have had a champion.
All right, well, thank you guys. This has been a great event. We really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
And best of luck
Thank you
with
so much,
everything.
Commissioner. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. We are actually going to quickly wrap up the show with that.
Yep.
It has been one hell of a day here at Pac-12
Unreal.
Media Day. Thank you to all of the amazing guests we've had from top to bottom. And, hey, if you guys want more coverage from Pac-12 Media Day, our friends PHNX Sun Devils are going live with Kenny Dillingham shortly. So, again, thanks to Shedeur, Travis, Coach Kelly, and everyone else who we talked to today. This has been awesome.
Incredible day. Can't wait to go back home and break it down more. Love you guys. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.